Hello, Joel Tadman here from Golf Monthly, and welcome to Burley Park Golf Club here in Stamford, Lincolnshire, where today I've been testing the new Callaway XR Speed driver. Now, it replaces the XR 16 model, which has always been Callaway's lower price point offering. They're now referring to this type of product as non-jailbreak offering, so we know that the Rogue driver got jailbreak technology. This driver does not have jailbreak, but it does have a host of new technologies that Callaway say make it much better than what came before. The first thing to talk about is the crown. Callaway have implemented their carbon fibre crown on the top here, which previously it was titanium, so I think it's around 45% lighter, which means they've been able to improve the efficiency of the weighting within the club head to give you more forgiveness, better performance, etc. They've also put their new X face here on the face, which means the variable thickness of it is also more effective. And they've also included their updated speed step technology on the top, which is supposed to improve the aerodynamics of the club head for more club head speed. And of course there's the OptiFit hosel there as well for adjustable loft and lie angle. Now, I was testing this up against the previous version. So this is the Callaway XR 16. Now this is admittedly the Pro version, but it's still kind of the same technology. It's 450 cc's compared to 460 cc's with the XR Speed. I tested this both on the range here at Burley Park and at Foresight HQ indoors on the GC Quad launch monitor to collect some data. Now, I used my shaft that was in my Rogue driver, which I was custom fitted for, so I knew that the shaft was right for me. Worth noting that the XR Speed does come with this Project X hazardous shaft as standard, which is a really good offering actually. Definitely going to add some value to this driver, which is what you'd expect given it comes in at £339, which is I think £50 more expensive than what the XR 16 driver was last year. So a price increase, but Callaway say you should get better overall performance from this driver. Did we experience that? Let's have a look at the numbers. So I've got my GC Quad numbers here. We'll start with the XR 16 Pro as a base number. Now this was tested in 9.5 degrees of loft because I've got a 10.5 head lofted down 1 degree. Ball speed of 152, launching at 16.8, which is pretty high. Spinning at 2393, which is okay, a little bit high but not too bad. But the peak height of this driver, 44 yards, is very high. The average carry is 265, so not great to be honest. If I'm honest with you, I didn't really like this driver 2 years ago when I tested it, and I didn't really like it the other day when I tested it either. So not surprised to see I didn't get great numbers from this driver. But how did the new XR Speed driver compare? Well, actually, it was an improvement across the board really. You'll notice the ball speed went up to 154 miles an hour. The launch came down. Admittedly, I was testing in a slightly lower loft, so this was 9 degrees of loft. So I was launching at 16.2. Spin was lower, 2,073. Might be a bit low for some, but we'll come on to that in a second, but that's good for me. And the ball flight came down to peaking at 41 yards, and the carry went up to 273, which is really impressive actually. It's an 8-yard increase on what I was getting with the XR 16. So my impressions of what the XR Speed delivers over XR Pro. First thing to talk about is the weight. This club feels a lot lighter than the XR 16. It just feels easier to swing. But you'll notice for me that actually resulted in a drop in the level of control of the dispersion I got with this driver. Yes, I hit it a long way, but you'll notice I actually hit the XR 16 Pro, even though it's only 450cc, a lot straighter. So there are pros and cons with this, but I would say that the benefits of this XR Speed do outweigh the XR 16 Pro. The lighter feel for many will increase club head speed. I think if you're someone who struggles with club head speed, if you want more club head speed, this is certainly going to deliver that. Perhaps faster swingers might see a reduction in club face control. Not everyone will experience that, but for me, it was a slight worry, but I wouldn't say it was a massive worry. One other point to make about the stock shaft is that it comes in at 45.5 inches long. Now, in the past, that might be considered pretty excessive, but actually, we're seeing a trend these days towards shafts of that length, and 45.5 is about standard now for what you would potentially class as a game improvement driver. We saw models like the Ping G Max and the TaylorMade M4 are actually slightly longer at 45.75 inches long. So 45.5, it might result in a reduction in control for some golfers, but I think most golfers will enjoy the benefits of the distance it offers over any reduction in accuracy. Callaway say that the XR Speed driver should deliver a little bit more spin and a little bit more draw bias than the Rogue driver, and when I was comparing it to my Rogue Sub-Zero numbers, that was definitely the case, and my Rogue was still outperforming the XR Speed for me because it was the same shaft in all three that I have tested, and the Rogue was spinning about 1900, carrying about 277, so about 4 yards longer than the XR Speed. But that said, this comes in at a considerably lower price point than the Rogue, and it delivered excellent performance across the board. The miss-hit performance was really exceptional. It feels sensationally better than the XR16 Pro. For me, this just feels, it's quite loud, it's a very tinny sound. Whereas the Callaway XR Speed is kind of more up-to-date feel in terms of that solidity impact, very stable, a much more kind of muted, powerful sound. But there's a nice noise there. It's not quiet by any means, but it just feels more modern, more powerful, more explosive across the face, and generally a lot more user-friendly. So I think this XR Speed driver is aimed at a wide spectrum of players. It's going to rival the Callaway Rogue Standard model. Probably doesn't look quite as long from front to back, but this is more a lower price point, lighter weight option for golfers who want forgiveness and speed, as the name suggests. This is going to deliver it for most players. I think faster swingers may still want to opt for models like the Rogue Sub-Zero, and I would still say that the Rogue franchise is Callaway's ultimate performing driver range for me. That jailbreak does seem to deliver a little bit more speed and distance compared to non-jailbreak drivers, but the XR Speed is an excellent alternative if you're looking to save a few pounds. So hopefully you found that review useful. If you've got an XR16 or maybe even the XR model before that, you definitely need to consider upgrading your driver, and if you're looking for a new model, you don't want to pay those premium prices. The XR Speed comes in at a really good price point for you, and I recommend you give it a try.